In the video, a man, identified as the owner of a beauty store, expresses frustration, stating,
"The whole mall is being evacuated, and the stores are emptying one after another. I can't take these goods away from my store. Well-known domestic skincare brand Awesome is being sold at 19 yuan, Sulwasu at 29, Weatherm at 19 yuan, a set of 2 Mei Fubao at 29 with free shipping, and these individual products at 9.9 yuan each."
The man angrily says,
"Give us a break. They fully support e-commerce. Let them make money." What will physical stores look like in the next 3 years? I read a piece of news online yesterday, and currently, physical stores are in a very dire situation. Finding a good location for a physical store involves an investment ranging from hundreds of thousands to even millions, and it might face losses within half a year. So don't think that it's challenging for physical stores only this year. The real turbulence for physical stores will be in the next 3 years. In the first phase, we will go through a wave of closures. It has already begun. Snack shops, fruit and vegetable stores, clothing, cosmetic, electronics stores, and even large supermarkets. As long as you still rely on opening a store and waiting for customers to come in, by 2024, 90% of them will close. Don't be too surprised. Have you noticed that there are fewer and fewer people on the streets? Maybe it's only 1% or even less than 10 years ago, but the rent is much higher than it was back then. How are you supposed to make money? In the second phase, when rents rise to a certain extent, there will be a sharp downward trend. In fact, this phenomenon has already occurred in many places. After the rent drops, there will be an awkward situation. Most shops may not be rented out due to high prices, and even if you lower the price, you may not find tenants. The rent will inevitably have to decrease to a level matching the foot traffic, because most of us, physical store operators, find it challenging to find a thorough solution to this crisis. We can only close down because we simply can't afford it.
A man that helps physical stores run live streams online says,
Transfer, rent, transfer, empty space for rent, prime shop for rent. Now, physical stores, no matter what industry I really find, are going under. The bankruptcy wave in November was really not publicized. Many stores closed down. It's really heart-wrenching. Look, another one. It's very painful.
People say 2023 is the worst economic year in nearly a decade. Of course, 2024 might be even worse than 2023. It's not just the physical economy. Online e-commerce still can't escape the harsh winter of low consumption. Even the ladies who naturally love beauty choose to decrease consumption and lie low. How can the society still be full of vitality? At the end of 2023, instances of foreign capital withdrawal from China once again destroyed people's expectations for the recovery of the Chinese economy. On December 28th, the American cosmetics brand Benefit announced on various Chinese e-commerce platforms such as Tmall, JD.com, and Douyin that its official flagship store is about to cease operations. Services such as order acceptance, customer service channels, and redemption of membership benefits will remain available until January 28, 2024. On December 30th, Benefit's Douyin flagship store emptied all products. Benefit, an American cosmetics brand, was one of the first higher-end overseas makeup brands to enter the Chinese market. In 1974, sisters Jean Ford and Jane Ford from Indiana, USA, opened a cosmetics store called The Face Place in San Francisco, which was later renamed Benefit in 1990. By 1999, LVMH Group acquired the majority of Benefit's shares, becoming the actual helmsman of the brand. With the support of strong capital, Benefit began to expand globally. Benefit's sales data has consistently been impressive. According to LVMH's official website, Benefit has entered 55 countries globally, with one brow product sold every 2 seconds. According to Benefit's official data, the Professional Face Primer is the top-ranking makeup primer in Europe and the United States, selling on average one every 14 seconds. Benefit entered the mainland Chinese market in 2007, opening its first store in Shanghai and joining Sephora China in 2008. By the end of 2020, Sephora had a total of 275 stores nationwide, across 81 cities in China. However, in 2021, the second year of the outbreak of the pandemic in China, Benefit began to withdraw from many cities in China. At that time, Benefit's explanation was that, due to changes in the retail environment and trends, the brand was adjusting its business model in China and gradually withdrawing from department store counters. In the future, it would mainly sell products through Sephora and the Tmall online official flagship store. According to Chinese media reports, in 2011, Benefit briefly joined Tmall but closed its store in less than half a year. In 2017, Benefit re-entered Tmall and subsequently joined JD.com and Douyin e-commerce platforms in 2021 and 2022, respectively. Now Benefit has announced the end of these online channels. In the cosmetics industry, Benefit is known as the eyebrow makeup expert, and its various star products are popular in China, such as eyebrow pencils, blush brushes, hula bronzer, emulsifier, mattifying powder, face primer, etc. Some analysts believe that the shrinking space for Benefit in the Chinese market may be related to the brand's pricing and brand positioning mismatch. Benefit's brand image is youthful and lively, mainly targeting young people. However, product prices are relatively high-end, falling into an awkward range where many young people cannot afford them, and when they have the financial capacity, they may overlook them. After achieving financial success, there are too many alternative products at the same price level. Of course, this is a general analysis from Chinese media. It's worth noting that the Chinese authorities strictly prohibit any negative comments on the economy. Economic experts are cautious in their statements, and many peers have faced account suspension or called in by the police for discussing economic issues. So any phrases related to the economic downturn cannot appear in media stories. Previously popular foreign makeup brands are now permanently closing stores after going through the pandemic. The reason is straightforward. Consumers once had sufficient money, but now finances are tight, making makeup, skincare, and beauty more of a luxury. In fact, 2023 is a rather bleak year for the beauty industry, whether online or offline, domestically or internationally. It can only be described as a period of depression. More popular and more affordable than Benefit in China, the American cosmetics brand Maybelline New York also cannot escape the fate of closing stores. Affiliated with the L'Oreal Group, Maybelline has gradually closed all offline stores nationwide since 2022. Subsequently, most online stores are closed, with only the counters in beauty conglomerate stores like Watson's being retained. According to incomplete statistics, there are about 17 Maybelline offline counters in the Beijing area, with 2 of them already empty. The staff at 3 Maybelline offline counters in Chaoyang District, Fengtai District, and Daxing District told Chinese media, "We have indeed received the notice of closing the store. The specific closing time has not yet been confirmed." Data shows that from 2000 to 2011, Maybelline sales outlets in 130 cities in China expanded from 3,552 to over 5,000. As of March 31, 2022, Maybelline only had 80 stores remaining in China, a mere fraction of the peak period. As a well-established American makeup brand, Maybelline has a history of over a century. It was acquired by the L'Oreal Group in 1996 and officially renamed Maybelline New York in 2004. In the 1990s, Maybelline entered the Chinese market and quickly gained favor among young people. Although positioned as an affordable makeup brand, Maybelline, backed by the L'Oreal Group, had ample funds for research and marketing. On Little Red Book, a popular Chinese social media similar to Pinterest, many users claimed that Maybelline was cheaper than major brands but not inferior in quality. As an international makeup brand that entered the Chinese market earlier, Maybelline not only set up counters in shopping malls, but also entered numerous supermarkets, maintaining a leading position in the long term. In 2018, Maybelline announced a gradual withdrawal from large retailers such as Walmart and Carrefour. In 2022, Maybelline's offline single-brand boutiques were also gradually closed. The large-scale closure of Maybelline stores in China has been attributed by official Chinese media to the sales growth of domestic brands. In fact, almost all foreign cosmetics companies in China have experienced a wave of store closures. Notably, the massive closure of Korean cosmetic stores cannot be ignored. In March 2023, Etude House completely closed all offline stores in the Chinese market. In 2022, Innisfree also began to withdraw from the Chinese market, with a closure rate exceeding 80%. In recent years, due to various factors such as restrictions on Korean cosmetics, the pandemic, and the impact of domestic beauty brands, Korean cosmetics, led by Amore Pacific Group, have not had an easy time in China. On October 31, 2023, Amore Pacific Group released its third-quarter financial report, with the group's sales reaching 5.2 billion RMB, a 5.7% year-on-year decrease. Operating profit was 156 million RMB, down 12.7% year-on-year. The Chinese market experienced a double-digit decline. By November of last year, Sum37, a well-established Korean cosmetics brand with 7 years of operations in China, also found it challenging to continue. LG Health Group's high-end skincare brand, Sum37 Degrees, has announced that, due to changes in the company's brand operation strategy, it will gradually undergo strategic adjustments for its offline department store counters. The official customer service of Sum37 Degrees stated that it will completely withdraw from China's offline channels by the end of the year. Starting from November 1, 2023, purchases at Sum37 Degrees department store counters are no longer eligible for points, and remaining member points can be transferred to Wu, another luxury Korean skincare brand. On November 1st, according to a report by Yilan Business, at the Westlake In-Time department store in Hangzhou, it was found that Sum37 Degrees, which was located on the left side after entering a few years ago, has been moved to a more secluded location on the first floor. Inside the store, the staff is packing up products and told Yilan Business that they are indeed removing the counter, but specific information is not yet clear. Currently, there are a large number of products in the store being discounted for clearance. The Sum37 Degrees store in Westlake In-Time department store is the brand's first store in the Chinese market since its entry in 2016. Sum37 Degrees was established in 2007, inspired by a philosophy born out of an unrivaled respect for life, and 37 degrees refers to the optimal temperature reached during fermentation of its skincare essence in a cedar barrel. According to incomplete statistics, as of now, Sum37 Degrees has 39 offline counters in 23 provinces and cities across the country. The total number of fans on 5 major platforms, including Tmall, JD.com, Douyin, Little Red Book, and Weibo, is 5.2 million, with Tmall alone having 3.3 million. According to LG Household and Healthcare financial report, in the first year of entering the Chinese market, 2016, Sum37 Degrees achieved a year-on-year surge of 82% in sales, reaching 343 billion Korean won. In the first year and a half of Sum37 Degrees' entry into China, May 2016 to October 2017, it opened 58 offline counters. In the following 4 years, Sum37 Degrees continued to maintain performance growth. However, by 2020, affected by factors such as the pandemic, Sum37 Degrees' performance plummeted by 27%, and it began to decline. LG Household and Healthcare's third-quarter financial report, released a few days ago, shows that in the first 9 months of 2023, LG Household and Healthcare sales reached 28 billion RMB, a year-on-year decrease of 2.6%. Operating profit was 2.3 billion RMB, down 25.8% year-on-year. It is worth noting that LG Household and Healthcare's operating income in the Chinese region fell by 28.9%, showing the worst performance. If the exit of foreign brands is influenced by geopolitical factors, the rapid exit of beauty brands from China can only be described as a true portrayal of the decline in the economic situation. According to data from the National Bureau of Statistics of China, in December 2022, the total retail sales of cosmetics amounted to 29 billion RMB, a year-on-year decrease of 19.3%. For the entire year of 2022, the total retail sales of cosmetics amounted to 394 billion RMB, a year-on-year decrease of 4.5%, the first negative growth since 2017. Enterprise data from Chi-Cha-Cha, a data and analytics website on China-based private and public companies, shows that in 2022, a total of 746,000 cosmetics-related companies in China were deregistered or revoked, and many well-known beauty brands reported closures or business contractions. In the same year, a total of 13 beauty brands explicitly stated that they were shutting down or withdrawing from the Chinese market, and 3 brands were suspected to bid farewell. Among the officially delisted beauty brands, more than half were domestic brands, with a survival time ranging from 5 years to as short as 1 year. Among them, Crocs, a domestic beauty brand founded by beauty blogger Deng Zhishu, officially closed in May of that year. Domestic makeup brands Rainology and Yesik, which ceased operations in August, are currently in the liquidation stage. 2 skincare brands founded by domestic industry professionals, Afrella and Equal RXN, also announced temporary departure from the market in September and December, respectively, due to changes in the overall environment and operational management. By 2023, the wave of closures for Chinese beauty brands has not stopped. According to exclusive data provided by Chi from January to November 2023, a total of 1.6 million cosmetics-related companies were revoked or deregistered, a year-on-year increase of 95%. During the same period, although a cumulative total of 5 million cosmetics-related companies were registered, the rate of revocation and deregistration was nearly twice that of registration growth. This year, the downturn of beauty brands in China was initiated with the cosmetics brand Its Focus, followed closely by Gu Xiaogu, Colorpedia, and Centus. Closing down became the underlying theme of China's cosmetics in 2023. Its Focus is a Chinese domestic makeup brand that announced it will bid goodbye to their customers on December 31, 2023, through its brand's Little Red Book account. Its Focus is owned by Shanghai Fengxiang Brand Management Limited, established on January 5, 2021, with business scopes including brand management, marketing planning, cosmetic sales, and internet sales. Its Focus officially entered the market in July 2020, positioning itself as the national trendy girl makeup brand. Its product range includes eyeshadow, blush, lip gloss, and eyeliner, mainly sold through its Tmall flagship store. On January 4, 2023, Its Focus released a closure notice through its Little Red Book account stating, "Due to certain reasons, we can no longer persist," and the brand will enter the clearance stage of closure. The closure announcement subsequently garnered attention and discussions among many people, bringing a certain level of publicity to the brand. As of the time of writing, the closure notice has received over 3,000 likes, far surpassing other content previously posted by the brand. After the closure announcement, some people expressed regret, and there were customers who chose to purchase products from the store to show support for the brand. The fan count of Its Focus on its Taobao store exceeded 6,000 people. The store was clearing its inventory before closure, offering eyeshadow, blush, lip gloss, and eyeliner pens at the price of 12.9 yuan. Among them, the best-selling item was the In Focus Sugar Heart Brightening Powder, with over 6,000 units sold. Despite the surge in attention, the fate of Its Focus was not altered. At the end of 2023, the brand issued a second closure notice, explicitly stating that the brand would bid farewell to consumers on December 31, 2023, and expressing, "We did not deceive everyone, nor was it a marketing tactic. Some remaining inventory will participate in the Double 11 sales." In other words, having been on the market for less than 4 years, Its Focus will officially shut down and exit the market. In 2023, whether it's Chinese or foreign brands, it's evident that the situation is challenging. Even live streaming, which has been very popular in recent years, cannot salvage the sluggish consumption environment. In recent years, numerous live broadcasting channels, such as those of top influencers, have encountered setbacks. Various scandals such as selling fake goods, vulgar content, and price wars have surfaced, gaining significant attention from people. When influencers encounter issues, it affects the brands associated with them. A typical case is in September 2023, when Li Jiaqi, China's famous beauty live streamer, mocked a viewer who questioned the affordability of a Florasis eyebrow pencil he was advertising in a live stream. Following this controversy, Florasis suffered immense reputation damage for several months, and the after effects can still be felt. The proliferation of substandard and counterfeit products in live broadcasts has discouraged consumers who already have limited funds. In the overall economic downturn, the entire industry struggles to see a way out. The current comparison is only about who is in a more miserable state. After 3 years of extreme lockdowns due to the pandemic, China's economic vitality is no longer as vibrant as before. Simultaneously, the population crisis is intensifying. On the one hand, the sharp decline in newborns has prompted urgent government intervention. On the other hand, aging is accelerating. In 2023, the National Healthcare Security Administration of China pushed for the so-called healthcare personal account reform, but it sparked protests and demonstrations by the elderly in places like Wuhan, known as the White Hair Movement. China's real estate crisis has intensified over the past year, with multiple companies facing financial troubles, and the risks in the financial system continue to grow. Among them, Evergrande Group's Xu Jiayin and his son have been arrested. Country Garden is also deeply mired in a debt crisis, while China National Chemical Group faces a financial crisis, and so on. China's economy is persistently sluggish, leading to a record high youth unemployment rate of 21.3% in June. However, officials subsequently announced that they would no longer release youth unemployment rate data starting from August 2023. Meanwhile, the implementation of the new anti-spy law has triggered a societal chill, and disappointing economic growth data and geopolitical factors have led to a massive decrease of foreign capital, causing the Chinese stock market to continue to decline. Moody's recently downgraded China's sovereign debt rating, triggering shockwaves in the industry. Going from 2023 to 2024, many Chinese people still maintain optimism and confidence. Regarding this, Professor Xu Guangcheng, a senior researcher at the Stanford University China Economic and Institutions Research Center, mentioned in an interview that it's possible that the situation in 2024 might slightly improve compared to 2023, but a significant trend in the Chinese economy is the gradual decline in economic growth. This is determined by institutional reasons. All these factors make China's situation very similar to the Soviet Union's in the 1980s. The Soviet Union did experience rapid economic growth, but entering the 1980s, economic growth plummeted. Initially, China might have been able to delay this trend for a while, but the pandemic and crackdown on private companies during the pandemic have accelerated this process significantly. Xu stated that the risks of a financial crisis and fiscal crisis in China are increasing. The real estate issue is still worsening, and mishandling it could trigger a financial crisis. If a financial crisis is triggered, it could be a very serious matter because it leads to a chain reaction. In the Western economic community, some individuals have already characterized present-day China as being in an economic crisis. This terminology has already been used by some people, and there is growing concern. Xu said, quote,
Moody's recently adjusted the credit rating of China's sovereign debt. If you understand this, you will be very worried. In fact, on the eve of the global financial crisis in 2008, Moody's re-evaluated the rating, which led to a series of events. Moody's significantly downgraded China's sovereign rating to alert investors worldwide that China's economy is about to face problems.